Hello, we are still making our olive oil soap, and it has been, we started at 2, about 2:30, and it is 11:43. So I'm going to show you the mixture. I stirred it for 2 hours until 5:50 or 5:45, and I stopped and I stirred it about maybe around 8. I stirred it for a few seconds, and after that I just stirred it once in a while for a few seconds until now. I noticed that it's not, I'm not having that layer of oil, that thin layer of oil on top anymore, and it got thicker and thicker. And I'm going to show you what I call trace, and at this stage I can pour it easily. So let me show you. And as you can see, it is right here, and I can stir it. Maybe I should bring you closer. Can you tell Jaden not to scream? And we can stir it.
What do you okay.
And when I lift it, we will see that is
Oh yeah.
leaving
Put hair on you.
some mark on top.
I put bear hair on you. I put a bear hair on you.
So that is trace. So the soap is thick enough. It doesn't have to be this thick.
I got the people here. I got you.
So it doesn't have to be thick here before you pour it. But because of the type of mold that I have, to avoid leaks, I let it take this way. So it's very thick, and you can see the marks on top. I have my kids here, and they are a little bit loud. We have, and at this, I can just stir a little bit more, but it's not going to separate. I need to put my goggles on. They're gonna go play upstairs.
No, get me two.
No, Gabriel is working. If you want to be here, you have to be quiet until I'm done with the video, okay? Good boy. Thank you, Jaden. I just keep stirring it. And when I can see the trace on top, the dripping, if that's still a little bit on top before it disappears, I know that it reached the trace. It doesn't have to be this thick, and at this stage it's like a very thick pudding. And I have my mold here, and I'm just going to pour it in it.
It's hard.
Gabriel, can you remind your brother to keep his voice down? Thank you. It's good to wear gloves when you are doing this. but more importantly, to wear goggles. So I have mine on, and I'm just going to scrape as much as possible. And I'll leave the pen, I'll let it sit until the mixture will turn into soap as well in the pen. And I will add water to it to turn it into liquid soap, which I'll pour in a container for my laundry. So I don't make my laundry, homemade laundry detergent. I don't make a liquid, I just make a powder. 2 ingredients. It used to be 2 ingredients last year. In fact, the past few years, but this time I just wanted to use washing soda. So that's what I'm using to do laundry. But because the kids' clothes can be kind of dirty looking a lot, I'll add my homemade liquid soap to the machine as well once in a while. I don't do it every day. Jaden, do you want to stay in my office? Then you need to be quiet, okay? So that's why, that's one way of saving, making the most out of this homemade soap. It can be quite expensive because of the quality of the oil that I use, extra virgin olive oil and USDA organic coconut oil. So the oil can be pricey, and I use food grade sodium hydroxide. So the ingredients can be pricey. So I like to tell the kids not to waste the soap by keeping it in water. So it's going to cure for 3 weeks before I'll put it on sale on my website. But I'm sure my household will purchase most of it because we use the same soap as well to shower, to wash hand, and to remove stain from clothes. If you want to wash clothes, you can just rub soap on the clothes. Rub a little bit before you put in the washing machine. And I've been showering my kids with my handmade light soap since they were infants. My middle one, I'm not even sure I ever shower her since I brought her home with any soap other than my handmade soap, as well as my youngest one. Because when I was expecting my middle one, I made a bunch of soap, and I made it very mild, I believe 100% olive oil soap, so that I can shower her with it when I brought her home. At the hospital, the nurse, cleaned her body with, their body soap or their body liquid, how do you call it, body wash, baby wash. Then I brought her home and I started using my handmade soap on her, and I made it a few months before she was due. And it turned out that she has eczema issue, which lasts few years on her before that really improved. She doesn't show any dry patches at all now. And with my kids and we all have eczema issue. Not all of them. I think my oldest one shows early sign of dry skin. That's pretty much it. But my middle one, the youngest one, and myself, we have eczema. And I'm glad that I don't use a lot of chemicals, products in our thing. So I'm trying to switch to natural product as much as possible. And I'm glad that I can make those natural soap myself, because when I was looking into natural soap, many of them has fragrance to smell nice. Many of them has dye, color, and I was just looking for something natural, you know, to switch from store-bought body wash. Save money, but going natural does not necessarily save you money, you know. So it can be healthier, but does not necessarily save you money. Jaden, can you keep quiet a little bit or keep your voice down? Thank you. So, and I did all of that. My hand is now dirty, and that's the pen. Here I'm just going to let it turn into soap as well. So that's a good way to wash the pen.
You did that.
Like right now, if I wanted to wash it, it will be very oily, and over time it might just clog my sink. So you can see I scrub as much as possible, and I'll just let everything turn into soap. And instead of washing it and dump it, I'll just turn it into a liquid soap and pour it in a container when I'm ready to use the pen again. So yeah, that's how I got into making soap, by trying to save money and go natural as much as possible. Find natural alternative to products that we usually use. But those products, industrially made, they are cheaper. So natural product does not necessarily save you money, but if you are making it yourself, it will be a lot cheaper, and you control the ingredients that you are using as well. So that's that. I have this that I've been using just to cover it. That's why it's kind of oily, and I'm just going to use that, but I can wipe a little bit. And it's just going to be here for a while. The saponification, our thing started already, but will continue, and it will turn into soap and glycerin. And at one point, if you look at it, it might be like, you might even see the transparent in the middle when it's heating up. That'll be the glycerin bar, and then it will all mix together again. So I'm just going to let it here for 24 hours at least, without disturbing it. And I just like to put it under the table here so that kids is out of their way. And it's going to be there, and later we'll just come back and cut it. So that's our olive oil soap, and I'll show you the recipe, but I can bring it again in case you have not seen, you have not watched the prior video. That's a formula that I used in 2018. I made it myself, and I created myself, and I used it in 2018, and I wanted to try it again to see how I feel about the composition of the ingredients, like the proportion of the oils. So it's going to be olive oil soap, and I'm calling it olive oil soap because olive oil is the first ingredients in it. So it's going to lather a lot because of the proportion of coconut oil in it. The higher the coconut oil, the soap will lather more. So the less coconut oil you have in it, the milder the soap might be, but the less sodium it will be as well. But pretty much light soap properly made is mild anyway. So I've been making coconut oil 100%, and I will use it on my kids. So my youngest one is 4, and I can like I said before, since they were a baby, I've been using my handmade soap on them without problem at all. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'm Afiavi Ojuna Liberman, creators of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel and owners of Nina Soap. And our website is ninasoap.com. So you have the recipe. You can make it yourself if you want. If you are looking for natural soap with no fragrance, no dye, Well, we have it in our store, and we invite you to visit our website and shop your soap, your bar soap there. Thank you.